Welcome back to Wimbledon. Steffi Graf will get a chance to defend her championship. She has beaten Chris Evert 6-2, 6-1, and will advance to Saturday's breakfast at Wimbledon. And with us now, Mrs. Chris Evert, as we heard throughout this championship, and husband Andy Mill, the man we saw, if you were with us for the start of our show today, in tears, as some other folks were too at Court 1 2 days ago.
Yeah, I was in tears too. I mean, I really didn't show it that much, but I just couldn't believe that I pulled that match out. It was a real emotional third set because I was thinking the whole third set, oh no, I was crushed. I can't believe that I might lose this match this way. And then when I broke at 5-3 and it was 5-4, 5-all, I thought, oh my gosh, I can win this match. And then I got emotional. So I had the whole spectrum of emotions that set.
Well, we were eavesdropping on your emotions, Andy, and I guess you shared a wonderful feeling. What makes this a special championship?
Well, what makes it so special is I think it could be, her last event here, and that makes it a little bit more difficult being here and watching, and especially had she lost at 5-2. I mean, if she lost at 5-2, that would have been one thing, but to see her pull it out, I think it built the drama even more, and I think that's the reason you saw as many tears as you saw, because it was so overwhelming.
Had a chance also perhaps even to reflect on, as a great athlete yourself, you know the feeling when it's almost over or is over. And then today, while you were so emotional 2 days ago, you seem to have taken the defeat today more in stride.
Oh, I knew I'd have to play unbelievable against Steffi Graf because I really have played pretty average this whole Wimbledon and nothing great. And Steffi's #1. She's a great champion, and she was just so strong. 6-2, 6-1, that was the score, but it was a tougher match than that. I had deuce points, I had a lot of ad points, and she mentally just won the big points, and therefore the match looked a little lopsided.
Now, you've admitted that you're not in your prime, and you've also admitted publicly that you can't give it 100%. Now, what does that all portend?
Well, I just think today, the way the players are playing, you have to give 100% commitment emotionally, mentally, and physically. You just have to give it all you've got. And I've been doing this since I've been 10 years old. I've been giving it all I've got. And after a while, your reserve is on low, and I don't have a lot left inside of me to compete. And I'm 34, and, I'm happy about it, though. I think it's time to go on to other things.
Now, she said a lot of words about maybe this is the end, the last Wimbledon. Is this the last Wimbledon for your wife?
I think if you talk about retirement, first you have to define the reason you're playing. And if you play because you enjoy it, and it doesn't matter whether you make first round, second round, or make it to the finals, then you can play for a lot longer. But I think Chrissy has really set such a high standard that by which she's not willing to sacrifice. I think the winds of change are here, and I think it's appropriate and it's time.
Do you want to make a statement in that regard?
No. I'm not a planner. I never have been. I always say, well, we'll wait till the end of the year and I'll reevaluate the year and we'll see how it goes. I just hate to say close the door completely and then all of a sudden come next March, all of a sudden feel the fire's burning. But I know the work that goes into this, and as Andy said, to play up to my standard, I doubt that I will be able to do that next year. So I'll probably won't play Wimbledon next year.
You can make a great politician. I could see a terrific future.
Diplomatic.
Now let's go back to the emotions of today. There is that time where you come out of the locker room. A couple of years ago, you were kind enough to take us on a tour of the women's locker facilities here, and you walk down the steps and you go by the trophies that you have shared. You see your name on the wall as a champion, and then there's that little brief hiccup where you go into the room for a final little word from the Wimbledon committee. What were your thoughts as you came then on center court?
Well, you have to remember I played Steffi Graf, and if you notice, Steffi is always rushing. So I just followed her, and so I found myself rushing down the stairs and out of the locker room and onto center court. We didn't even go in the waiting room today. It was like she just had to get out there, so I was like behind her. And but it entered my mind that, not only could it be my last Wimbledon, but could be my last match. I mean, I'm going to go home now and reevaluate and see if I want to play the U.S. Open. I mean, that's another big traumatic tournament for me. Again, you have to just have that commitment. So, but Wimbledon is real special, and that center court with the crowd cheering for you, there's no better feeling.
And as you walked off?
I felt good. I felt like I put up a fight, and I waved to the crowd because acknowledging them, because they not only because they supported me this whole tournament, but because if it is my last Wimbledon, I just wanted to say goodbye.
Well, thank you, Andy. Thank you, Chris, and thank you for the memories.
Thanks, Dick.